So next we're getting into the actual content of the course, and I'm just going to look at these first two units because all of the units are going to follow pretty much the same. So this is the first unit, Introduction to Origin Theories, and as you can see, these are PowerPoint presentations. So there's a 97-03 version and a 2007 plus version. So if you want to watch the PowerPoint, you can click on those. In this course, the PowerPoints are kind of like a just touch on the key elements of what you read in the chapters and some of the extra readings. It's really meant to just focus on the most important points, I think, from the units. So if you want to watch it before and kind of get an overview of what you should be picking out of the text, or if you want to watch it afterwards as sort of a reminder, refresher, it's up to you. So there will always be at the start lesson and then articles to read. And here we have a whole bunch of articles to read through. And then next will be videos to watch. There haven't really been too many documentaries or videos about the history of Middle Eastern dances. So as you can see, there's one link here, and I'm just going to click on it quick to show you what is inside it. There are several videos made by people who generally do instructional tutorial things on how to belly dance, and as part of their introduction they sometimes do a belly dance history video for you. So they're all like under 10 minutes. You can watch as many of them as you want or not. You can see this one's less than a minute, 6 minutes, little over a minute. I'm pretty sure that these ones are a little bit longer than that, but you can see they're not very long, and it gives you kind of an overview of how many different narratives there are and how similar some of them are. So next we have the assignment. I hope that everybody does this properly, and before you start reading through all of this, you go right ahead and do the first paper. This is the very first thing you should be doing before you even begin reading through any of these lessons. The next thing that you do is the homework, and the homework should always be done after you've read, watched, all of this kind of stuff, and after you've read the textbook as well. Most of the questions are going to come from the text, but I expect that you will use the articles and videos to supplement what you're saying. So let's take a quick look at how the homework works. All of them are going to show up as a quiz. You can see they show up in quizzes, and it'll say attempt quiz now. The homework, you're limited to one attempt, as you can see, and it'll tell you you're about to start that new attempt. Do you want to proceed? You should click OK. These homeworks are not timed, so there's one question usually on each page, and you answer it. If you want to, you can exit and come back. So if you put your answer in here, blah blah blah, and you have a choice to save without submitting or submit all and finish. When you save without submitting, that means that you can actually close this down, go off to work, come back several hours later, say, oh, okay, I'm going to finish it, and just come back out here like we've just logged in. Oh, la-di-da-di-da, let's go work on homework 1 again. So as you can see, you can re-enter your previous attempts on homeworks. It still says quizzes, but as you can see here, it says homework 1, attempt 1, nothing's completed, no grade, no feedback. Continue the last attempt. So that's what you're going to do. And if you saved your answer, you can see there my blah 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 comes back. If you're all done, you're going to click submit all and finish. And once you do this, you can no longer enter in and edit your answers. I'm going to click OK. Now it doesn't really matter what you answer. This is what you're going to see is 0 out of a maximum of 10%. And it'll tell you try reading the materials again, view the lessons and videos. And that's just the way that it's going to show up because these have to be manually graded, which is why there's a approximately a 24-hour turnaround on grading. So if you see this, don't worry, that's normal. Check back in about 24 hours, see if your grade has changed. Because if you read through the chapter, you're not going to end up with 0 points. If you still have 0 points, it hasn't been graded. You would have to do extremely poorly beyond what I can imagine anyone signing up for this course would ever be able to do to get 0 points. So you can see all of your answers that you put, and once it's been graded, you can actually look at the feedback and see if there was something where I gave partial credit. Sometimes I'll post why I gave you partial credit and ask maybe for you to think about how you could have gone further with that and maybe what you should be looking into to expand your knowledge. So I suggest looking at the feedback because it can offer you ways that you can improve on your own understanding, but you don't have to read it if you really don't want to. I try to be constructive and nice, so it shouldn't hurt your feelings to read it, I hope. So as you can see, once you do that, anytime you view it, it'll tell you what your final grade is here and your overall feedback if there's any. Again, don't worry about this initial score of 0. That's normal for all of the homework because it has to be manually graded. So the only thing that's not showing up on here right now, because I didn't actually open it up, is there will also be in the assignment section a forum that's specific to each topic. So in lesson 1, there will be an origin theories forum. And in lesson 2, which is ancient Near Eastern dance, there will be an ancient Near Eastern dance forum. And you do not have to respond to each of those forums. For this course, it is required that you post in at least, that you make at least 2 posts. They don't have to be to the same forum. They don't have to be the same topic. You could do both of them in the same forum under the same topic, but they have to be different posts, different questions, different thoughts. And you should be replying to people too. So if you have a question about a specific topic, you can also post that in the related forum as well. Otherwise, that's where I expect you to have your discussion taking place. That's your chance to interact with me, with other students, to clarify things. That's where you have your interactive moments. So the next thing is the quiz, and I want to show you what to expect with the quiz first. The quizzes cover 4 to 3 units at a time, and there's a 2-hour time limit. You cannot enter a quiz more than once. So if it's an actual quiz, it says quiz up here. Make sure that you are sitting down on time when you don't think you're going to be interrupted. Let's just take a look at this. And I'll tell you, you are limited to 1 attempt and you're about to start. You click OK. And of course, the first questions are going to be true and false, followed by you have the choice to submit and finish or submit without saving. I wouldn't recommend doing either of those until you finish, but when you get to the very end, there's some, it's true and false, then multiple choice, and then an essay question at the very end. So once you're all done, make sure you submit all and finish. If you think you might be disconnected anytime you answer something, make sure that you save without submitting, just to make sure that whatever you do get done can be submitted. It'll tell you how much time you have left so that you don't have to keep track of that actively. But you should really, really try to make sure that you have a time when you can complete it. It's not that much. Like I said, the true and false questions, you should be able to answer them fairly quickly. The multiple choice, most of them are going to be pretty easy if you've read the content. And the essay question is probably the one that will take up the most time, but it's a short, very short answer. You don't have to make a huge paper out of it. It just has to be like one paragraph.